Hello fans of Marvel heroes and friends of my channel, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Nick Fury, and today I would like to do the Cosmic Trial. Now you may have watched my previous video on him, a little bit of Danger Room and so on. I've passed some comments about if you were thinking of unlocking Nick Fury as of now, I strongly suggest you to hold back. It is probably one of the worst heroes I've ever played in this game so far. This is patch 2.15, but things may change in time to come. I have got a build whereby I managed to overcome a lot of the clunkiness and sort of like very terrible kind of like gameplay design and so on. So I still need to adjust a little bit on trying to make it work for him. But I think more or less I got it a little bit sorted here. So I'm trying to see whether I can go through the Cosmic Trial or not. My gear is not really fantastic, but good thing is that because I'm a veteran, a lot of these gears I've already got it somewhere somehow, like the artifact and the relics. Relics is really hard to find these days. Even the unique, I don't know what happened to the drop rate. I think right now it's a cosmic event, so you may see a little bit more unique. My advice is play a little bit of Danger Room or somewhere to get more double drop kind of thing. Otherwise, I would think that it's a little bit. I would think that the drop rate is a little bit poor this day. I do not know why. I've got some of the bounty boxes to open, so I filled up quite a number of my gear slots, but I'm still lacking some. Although I play like an hour or so in Danger Room. So another thing is that I pumped it all to 69. I don't think these are really great unique artifact, but I put it to 69 to just making sure that he has the best shot. I do not think that he will have issue passing the Cosmic Gate, but he probably would not be as easy as say Carnage, even though Carnage is like a very melee kind of single target wise. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit on Nick Fury. On this build that I have, and let me just close the window right now because there's a construction outside going on. It's really noisy. My apology for that. To access the Cosmic Trial, you have to come to the challenge here. There's one called Cosmic Trial. Once you get in there, you have to complete a certain kind of scenario within a certain time limit without death, but it's more or less quite okay. But I really do not know how Nick Fury is going to be like in this scenario, but I'll just do my best, man. I'll just do my best, you know me. So the first thing first, just get to the position here. Empty out the bullet as much as you can because that is where the buff comes in, but I think it's just a bit too late. Come on, man. Nick Fury. Okay, so now he's rather awesome. I'm just waiting for the big guys to come in before I do the signature here. So that is, whoa, the signature didn't even kind of like hit quite a fair bit here. Oh, I'm right in the middle and I cannot. Oh, I run out of charges here as well. Now that is probably one of the worst performance I've seen in terms of Nick Fury, in terms of any heroes right now. And it is still the same old me. I'm not like any difference from other gameplays I have so far. So this build is definitely not really making it to the Cosmic Trial. This is actually one of the worst performance I have. My apology for that. And the signature doesn't even like do much to the whole kind of thing. So that is rather strange. And I'm struggling to empty out my clip, so I'm not going to bother with the clip. I'm just going to take a penalty here. You're supposed to take the making sure that you don't you only refill the clip when there's certain timing and so on. Now this is really horrible. I've got like the Halbuska on me already, so I think I will have quite a bit of the trouble right now to get through the gate if I'm not wrong. So now it's a bit more manageable. I mean, Nick Fury is alright when it comes to the area kind of thing. I run out of charges, I run out of everything else. So, okay, so now I'm in business. I mean, if I can stand alone here, I think it's alright. The problem is sort of like just like if I'm moving around, then I don't get to use a lot of my. Okay, so now I have to wait for the clip to come back out. And sometimes there's a bug right now as well because of the clip. So I have to make sure that I so this is the bodyguard I need to kill, so just make sure you stand behind the bodyguard, then you don't take Madam Hydra's okay, done. I think I will still be able to make it, just not the best performance I have got. You just have to eat everything, because the moment you're not emptying the clip, you have difficulty in quite a few things. So another 2 more minutes to go. So that's done. I've passed the first test. The next one is also going to be very tough because of the lack of, just the overall lack of power here. Let me just pop a signature, at least clear off some of this nonsense. Drop another one there, do a stun there as well. Man, the clips is just really annoying. So I need to make sure that I empty out the clip, get a buff. I need this buff. This is stun, supposedly. And now it's all lined up, so this is good stuff. So this one, make sure it's red, then go in, because sometimes there's a lag, and during the lag they don't register that you have already down to 75%. Missing ammo there. Just the game is just very, very buggy right now. You have to work around the bug, so make sure you go beyond the red line before you do the refill. And you just have to keep your bullet going. You have to waste everything. Okay, so that's done. Okay, done. There's a line up there. Just make sure that there's a line there as well. I think when the I think I'll struggle a little bit. Man, that was red. I couldn't, I don't know what happened. It just then it kind of messed up my whole rotation a bit, but that's fine. So that is the part that's hard. Line them up here nicely on this part. I think I need to make sure I get a buff before I do the ultimate here. So ultimate will kind of destroy this guy for quite a fair bit. It's either I shoot him or you shoot me. Now this is bad because I can't really. Usually for other. Oh man, I popped the. It was a bad timing for me because I didn't expect that he raised the shield so fast. Now I'm in deep trouble. And this is bad because I didn't get a buff as well. I don't know what happened. It was red in color, so I thought it was. So there's all the things that I should not do. I can't screw up a big deal here. Okay, now I should be fine. Should come back out here. Make sure it's all red before I do anything. Now it's just the Sentinel I need to take care of. So 10 seconds, that's fine. It's good. Go back in, no charges. Okay, good timing. Oh, roll out. Oh, no out. Man, it's like I don't have enough charges anymore. Now this time works the red zone. So done. So I've passed the test. Now as you can see, I struggle a lot as a veteran. I struggle quite a lot to make it sorted, and I messed up quite a fair bit because when I thought, okay, so how this one work for those who are not familiar with the Nick Fury and why I struggle so much on this one is that. You have something called fresh clips. Fresh clips say that if you are below 25%, which is when this one is red, because 25% is what, a quarter, all right? So when you're below 25%, when they turn red, if you use the fresh clip, you will gain a 20% base damage buff, which is about 800 damage rating, which is humongous. You have got to have it. And also, how do you know whether you have it or not? Because this game just doesn't have the buff. Like if you play Path of Exile, if you play Diablo 3, it's very clear, those very fundamental ARPG is that whenever you have a buff for your hero or character, you should have somewhere there. Doesn't tell you. The only way that you can tell whether you are buff or not is when you see the cooldown there, 15 seconds instead of 10 seconds instead of 15 seconds. Now, it's kind of weird because, it's red now, it is 10 seconds. So I think that there is some kind of leeway, even though when it turns red, it doesn't really mean red. You have to push it a little bit further. And sometimes my conspiracy theory is that if there is a latency, like for myself, because I'm from Singapore, the latency doesn't register this at all to whatever here it is. I just see it, and I do not know how come it will just regenerate. Like I can't really figure out what gear of mine that will regenerate ammo, but it's just one of those games that is really, really strange. So I think up to a certain point they will start to switch to 15 seconds and so on. And also, the thing is that if you don't manage to empty out the clip when you do a fresh clip, then you actually take quite a penalty in terms of your buff here. I'm just trying to observe here. When do they toggle back to 15 seconds? Because somewhere here, you see, I've switched, like I can go back to my video, I switch my fresh clip when I have even less than that, but they don't register as a buff. Now it is 15 seconds, and it's still red in color, right? So if I were to design a game, I would be very black and white, right? I mean, there's so many things wrong with Nick Fury. I would turn this into red only when I can get the buff. Only when I advise people that it's below 25%, because it's confusing, right? Because when you hit in the heat of a battle, you have different shade of red. How are you going to differentiate whether you should click or not click, right? Because for 25% below. So and the other thing is that if you don't do that, that's really no big deal actually. The only thing is that you will miss out the vulnerability debuff, which is also terrible, because there is a multiplication kind of like buff to all your power. So all your power in general is less than you can only deal like 9% of or lesser of its potential, instead of having the extra 10% of buff to it. So you would like to have this one pretty much use this kind of like buff quite often, use a fresh clip quite often to reset this one. And a lot of people complain about Nick Fury is because how clunky he is. I'm just minimizing, I'm just taking the minimum amount of like a power that I need to relate to fresh clip, because you could actually take things like NZ or target down. There are some kind of power that give an execute that really, really good power, but I just does not have a heart to do it, because it becomes very, very difficult to maintain the cooldown kind of like duration with the ammo which I have got to use and so on. So in general, the hero design is just pretty bad, and I strongly advise, unless you're a really, really strong Nick Fury fan, just hold off until the entire overhaul. I'm not talking about quality of life here. I mean, this is an alpha build. I think Nick Fury would need to have an overhaul of the entire toolkit to make him strong, fun, and like accessible to people. I mean, that's all I have. But the good news is that I've got the Cosmic Gate Pass, right? I mean, that's something to celebrate, I guess, in this game. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll share this build with you for those like 1% of people who have to unlock Nick Fury, because of you've unlocked everything, just left Nick Fury for the completeness sake. Then yeah, I'll do a guide for you guys. All right, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.